Week 4 of NCAA gymnastics competition wrapped up this weekend. And while we had a little bit less controversial results this weekend, we still had plenty of exciting gymnastics. As always, I'm Brandis here with Claire from College Gym News, and we are going to break down the NCAA.com power rankings. Starting with the teams, seems like Oklahoma and California continue to roll, but we've got a little bit of a shakeup in the SEC.
Absolutely. So 6 of the 8 SEC teams are actually ranked in the top 10 this week. And they're led by Kentucky, who has just continued to be exceptional. The Wildcats had their first home meet on Friday and posted their best ever team score, 197.95. So I think a 198 is going to happen for them this season, especially if they keep hitting the way they've been. Yeah, and then this doesn't seem to be a fluke either. We're seeing teams like Arkansas and Mizzou, who are traditionally top 10 teams. Yeah, they've been in a few times here and there, but they are looking absolutely like nationals contenders. Arkansas has beaten Alabama or tied Alabama already, excuse me, and then beat Auburn this week, while Mizzou overcame a nervy sub 49 beam rotation to overtake LSU. So it was a pretty cool week for SEC shakeups.
Oh, absolutely. It's great to see, Kentucky in particular, the kind of perennial national bubbles team always floating around. Will they or won't they make nationals to be at the top 3 off to a really fast start this season is just incredibly remarkable. And that's, pretty much on the heels of their stellar all-arounder, Raina Worley, who comes in at 3rd in the all-around rankings this week as the top 3 just continue to roll.
Absolutely. Worley and all of the other team stars have continued to do their jobs. Bryant rested this week, which is why she's not in the rankings. But Maya Lauzon, oh my goodness, she has just been on a roll. She is unstoppable this season. She hasn't showed any signs of nerves or wear and tear so far. So she posted her second consecutive 39.7, leading Cal to their highest score of the season. Right. You'll see her a lot this week in the power rankings.
Right. This is not the first nor the last time we're going to mention her. So. And then we've also got Jessica Hutchinson making her debut this week. She posted the top score with that 39.725 with those pair of 995s. Really breaking out here in that 5th year.
She has scored 39.625. I can't even remember, something like 5 or 6 times in her career. And this is the first time she's finally cracked into the 39.7s. And she did it against Oklahoma, beating out all of their top all-arounders, including Jordan Bowers, Faith Torres, Audrey Davis, and Kat Levasseur. So it was a very compelling victory for her.
No doubt. Great way to gain some momentum heading into the rest of the season.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on to vault. We got a pair of 10.0s this week from Alabama's Lily Hudson and her Yurchenko 1.5, and Mackenzie Wilson stuck her front handspring high calf, as many have this season, for her first perfect 10.
Absolutely. Wilson anchored Kentucky's vault rotation with her 10, and it was the highest score for Kentucky vault ever. It was the first 10 since Jenny Hansen, and then it was also the Wildcats' highest vault total ever, en route to that big team score. And then Lily Hudson, of course, that was a tight matchup at Florida. It was neck and neck the whole time, and that vault was phenomenal. It was just perfectly controlled. It looked great in the air, and that really helped shift the momentum in the Tide's favor. And then we also had a fantastic Yurchenko 1.5 from a newcomer, freshman Kirsten Johnson from Talladega, which is a brand new program. This is only the program's second meet, let alone her second meet. And she got a 9.825 at SEMO to take a share of the vault title. And I mean, her Yurchenko 1.5 is absolutely breathtaking. It could fit in any top team lineup in the country. And she had just a tiny little step on the landing. But what was so cool about that is not only was that her career high as a freshman and her event win, that was also Talladega's first program win. So that's a very big and historic moment for them.
I'm incredibly excited. And I know that tied for the team's top score so far this year also, which is incredible accomplishment.
Expecting big things from them.
Oh, absolutely. They are just beginning. So taking a look at bars, it was a little bit of a down week overall. It seems like even the best of the best were scoring the 9.8s instead of the 9.9s.
It was very strange. I think people just got a little jumpy on their landings and missed some handstands along the way. Jordan Bowers was one of the rare exceptions. She got a 9975, and her scores have been kept down a little bit this week, or excuse me, this season, because she hasn't been able to control that landing, but she just drove it into the ground. And then Ellie Lazzari from Florida competed bars for the first time since her freshman season. She tore her Achilles in 2022. And so this was the first time we've seen her back in action. And she followed up a fall on vault with just a phenomenal career high of 9925 on bars.
Right. That's really the only way you really want to rebound from a fall is with a new career high. So, right. And she's been lauded as a beam specialist for years. So to come back strong on bars is awesome.
Right. No, she's a good all-arounder. So hopefully we'll get to see her more on the other events as well.
Fingers crossed. And then speaking of beam, we had some more standout performances this week. No 10s, but quite a few 9975s.
Yes. So no surprise, Maya Lauzon is back on top with another 9975. Abby Paulson from Utah actually overtakes Miley O'Keefe. It's Monday. For the Red Rocks top beam score of the week with a 9975. She's gotten a 10 before. She's a fantastic beamer, but she kind of gets overshadowed by her teammate O'Keefe, who only got a 9925 this week. Just come on. What?
Right.
Totally kidding. It was still pretty darn fabulous, except for a tiny little correction on her landing. And then we actually did have 110 this week, Brandis.
I know, I lied. My bad.
Well, I said Miley Cyrus, so we're even. Freshman Kyler McLean from LSU. She has qualified to the World Championship event finals on beam, and she has had a little bit of trouble this season so far. She's fallen once and just had some nerves, but she turned in a completely breathtaking performance this week at Missouri and got her first perfect 10. And I don't think there's anyone questioning that score. It was flawless.
Oh, not at all. She made a wise switch in her Afro series from week 1 to this week, and high risk, high reward, and it definitely paid off this time. And then looking at floor, we do have a pair of 10s to talk about here. As Raina Worley finally gets her flowers, and then we got to stand out in the Big Ten.
So Worley has gotten so many 9975s in her career, and I will say I don't think this was her absolute best performance ever. But I can't be too mad because she has been so perfect so many times. There was a slight little foot shuffle on her full twisting double tuck, but otherwise it was exceptional. She deserves to have a 10 on her career, on her record sheet. So ethically, I am completely fine with that.
Right. After being robbed so many times before.
Right. Exactly. It's fine. And then sophomore Nikki Smith from Michigan State got her first career 10, which also was Michigan State's first program 10 on floor. So very exciting for her.
And this week we are introducing a bonus category. We're going to take a look at the top freshmen now that they've got about a month of competition under their belts.
Yeah, so Georgia has obviously had some struggles in the last few seasons. But they've got a pair of freshmen, Lily Smith and Addie Wall, who are keeping them in contention for the top 20. These two are just phenomenal. Smith, of course, has been praised for her bars work. She's already gotten 110, and I'm sure she's going to get more. She entered the all-around this week and did a great job. Wall has kind of been the silent hero. She has been steadily contributing top scores for the team. And those two have actually been the highest contributors each week. The two of them have been 1 and 2 each week for the Gym Dogs. Over on elsewhere in the SEC, in Kentucky, Delaney Rodriguez has flown under the radar a little bit. Honestly, I think people don't realize she's a freshman because she has been competing so brilliantly. She is leading off every single event as a freshman, which is kind of unheard of.
Insane.
Yeah, not only that, she has an average of 982 or better on all 4 events. So I think she's really the missing piece that Kentucky has needed. They've kind of uh, played around with their leadoffs in the last several seasons and have had a hard time finding that perfect fit. Well, Delaney's that perfect fit. So looking forward to some more big scores from her. We've
Yeah, they're
already
not a top 3 team without her.
No, absolutely not. They bookend Rodriguez and Worley, and it's paying off big time. We've talked about McLean. Yeah. We've talked about McLean being that high risk, high reward option. She's gotten 2 tens already, one on bars and one on beam. And then Anya Pilgrim for Florida. She has been a really fantastic stabilizing factor for them. The Gators are having a little bit of a rebuilding year. They're still great, of course, but they haven't really settled into a team leader now that Trinity Thomas is gone, and then also losing Kayla DiCello. But Pilgrim is kind of stepping into that role. She seems completely unfazed by any hype or any adversity that comes earlier in the lineup. She just goes out and does her thing and does it beautifully. And then
39 fives weekly.
Yeah, not too shabby. And similarly, Madison Ulrich from Denver, she's stepping into the role vacated by Lindsey Brown, who was the heart and soul of Denver gymnastics for so long. And she's done an excellent job contributing regular 39 4+ scores and is really complimenting Hutchinson as one of the team's standouts. We also have some honorable mentions. Hannah Horton from Mizzou. She was an unrated recruit. She just kind of turned it up a notch her senior season and went from never having broken 37 to breaking 39 5 times in her senior season. And that has carried over to Missouri. She has posted 9+ scores on both vault and floor and is exhibitioning on bars and beam. So I'm expecting to see her break into the all-around before the season's out. And then Lily Lippett, a lot of folks remember her. She was a 3-time U.S. national team member, had a lot of really fantastic credentials coming in. And she has been one of the strongest members of the brand new Clemson team. She's posted the team's first 9-9 score and has just
in
her first routine ever. Absolutely. And she's just been incredible on bars, beam, and floor. She has exhibition vault. So she's another one I think we'll see breaking into that all around before too long.
Oh, no doubt. It's only a matter of time. And we're just in for so many more incredible performances from all these freshmen. I cannot wait to see what the rest of their careers hold.
It's exciting. And I think it's a testament to how good the state of NCAA gymnastics is right now.
Oh, absolutely. And that is going to be on display again this weekend as we have plenty of top matchups to look forward to. Kentucky and Alabama are facing off. We're going to get a showdown between California and Oklahoma. So we are going to have a lot more to break down next week. Stay tuned.